do you need a $54 million private jet?
We're not doing any kind of interviews right now. I'm in the book.
I'd just like to know why you need keep your hands off me. Why are your people touching me?
He got the shock of his life, and he was trying to give me some illegal.
Praying that God indeed would protect all those who hear this false message that comes from her lips.
Why have you said that you won't fly commercial? You said that it's like getting into a tube with a bunch of demons.
Now you got the other international hustlers, Creflo, Old Nickel, Old Dollar. Let me show you the way these preachers con. And this cat got up and said the Lord told him, if you want to lose weight, write a check tonight. I believe it was for $500 or $5,000. Why is God concerned about your weight?
From cheating scandals caught mid-sermon to pastors running out of bedrooms without their clothes, this ain't no ordinary Sunday service. These pastors were supposed to be preaching salvation, but what they delivered instead? Scandal, lies, luxury jets, secret babies, and million-dollar fraud, all caught on camera. This video dives into 15 most unexpected moments when black pastors got exposed on live TV or in front of their stunned congregations. And trust me, number 5 and number 2 will leave you speechless. Number 15, Ricky Scott. In January 2024, the East St. Peter's Missionary Baptist Church in Abbeville, Mississippi, was rocked when a woman barged in to confront the senior pastor, Ricky Scott. As it turned out, the woman, identified as Yolanda Beavers, was one of the many mistresses of the pastor, and she was tired of being relegated to the sidelines. So she decided to interrupt the church service. According to reports from members present, the incident almost led to multiple altercations between the alleged mistress and the pastor's wife, all while the pastor watched from the pulpit. Yolanda was eventually led out of the church, and service resumed with the pastor's wife addressing the congregation in support of her husband.
Don't fall, right? But that's not true. God said all have fallen short.
She begged the church not to expect perfection, citing a Bible verse that all humans are sinners. The wife also told them to stay together as they did not know what God had in store for them. The church members seemed to buy the excuse and cheered after the speech, but the deacon board would not have it. After a vote, they decided to terminate the pastor's appointment with an announcement through the church's Facebook page. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 99% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. Thank you so much. Now back to the video. Number 14, Pastor Eddie Long.
That's not a father. That's a predator.
Eddie Long was a senior pastor at New Birth Missionary Baptist Church, a megachurch in DeKalb County, Georgia. He served the church from 1987 to 2017 and passed on at 63. Long, who started preaching at New Birth Church when there were only 300 members and helped to grow the ministry to 25,000, grew in popularity due to his flamboyant lifestyle. A Senate investigative committee was established in 2007 to look into the finances of Eddie Long's ministry, but he wasn't alone in this inquiry. Others like Kenneth Copeland, Joyce Meyer, Creflo Dollar, Paula White, and Benny Hinn were also investigated. While Long refused to cooperate with the committee, failing to disclose his salary, they could not find definitive proof of wrongdoing, and he received no penalty. However, the donations to his ministry tanked significantly due to the surrounding controversies. The most significant controversy Long was embroiled in came to light in 2010, when 5 individuals under his care filed separate lawsuits against him. In September 2010, Maurice Robinson, Anthony Flagg, Jamal Paris, Spencer Legrand, and Santino Kemp alleged that Long used coercion and his position as a pastor to have sexual relationships with them.
And I cannot forget the smell of his cologne. And I cannot forget the way that he made me cry many nights when I drove in his cars on the way home, not able to take enough showers to wipe the smell of him off of my body.
They said he paid them, gave them different gifts, and sponsored their trips overseas, using the scripture to justify the act. Long did not address the accusations directly, but he hinted at fighting back and released a statement saying, I have devoted my life to helping others, and these false allegations hurt me deeply.
Portrayed myself as a perfect man, but I am not the man that's being portrayed on the television.
The lawsuits were eventually settled out of court without disclosing the terms. Number 13, Pastor Jamal Bryant.
Who else could help lead a church through scars and pain if you've never done so yourself? There's a complete distinction between apathy and empathy.
Jamal Harrison Bryant is another senior pastor with the New Birth Missionary Baptist Church who has been embroiled in multiple controversies. The 53-year-old American minister married his first wife, Giselle Bryant, in 2002, and the couple had 3 daughters before their divorce 7 years later. While they attempted to kick things off again in 2019, Bryant's relationship with the Real Housewives of Potomac star ended in 2021. After that, he turned to fellow pastor Dr. Carrie Turner, and the duo got wedded in 2024. However, Bryant was a guest on the Hardly Initiated podcast, where he revealed what led to the end of his first marriage, taking responsibility.
I am divorced because I cheated. I divorced because of my infidelity, not because of irreconcilable differences, but because I broke that covenant.
So I had to go through a healing process for myself on what is it that was in me that would go outside of the bounds of my covenant, my agreement, and to risk my family for somebody I never wanted to be with, he continued. Many people have pointed to facial similarities between his former and present partners, while others have expressed concerns regarding his continued role as a senior pastor. That's because the pastor has been the subject of other controversies. In 2020, an LA-based masseuse, Latoya Shawnee, accused Bryant of fathering a son and refusing to take financial responsibility. He reacted by saying, "Keep praying for me because, unlike others, I actually need it," before adding, "God ain't finished with me." Number 12, Pastor David E. Taylor.
Oh, this is a place that the ministry owns. Well, not own, we're in the process of buying that.
In April 2019, multiple allegations were brought to light about the abusive behavior and inappropriate management of a Michigan church by David E. Taylor. Taylor, who served as the head of Joshua Media Ministries International, had come under fire years in 2015 after his hilarious answers to questions regarding his church's finances. During the court questioning, Taylor repeatedly changed his answers and refused to answer others while implicating himself. During the proceedings, it was revealed that he spent large sums buying Louis Vuitton and Versace clothing for himself from the church's purse, but he claimed he needed to since the high-end stores have better TV appearances and he sweats on his clothes.
I'm sorry.
Do you show that in your income that you got Louis Vuitton clothing?
No, that's not. That
doesn't show.
Because it don't go there.
He also failed to justify owning multiple luxury cars, including Mercedes, Bentley, BMW, and Range Rover. That's in addition to spending around $50,000 to convert Mercedes into a limo. He also got expensive auto, housing, and vacation allowances. In the 2019 allegations, Taylor was accused of abuse, manipulation, sexual misconduct, and managing the ministry like a cult. Former worker Chris Sorensen alleged working for multiple weeks without a day off, feeding, or proper accommodation. Gospel singer Vicky Yohe has also accused the minister of sexual manipulations and abuse, having previously been in a relationship with Taylor. Number 11, Pastor Creflo Dollar.
Pastor, can you say what happened?
Just my kid, love him.
Love him?
Yeah.
Same problem everybody, parents going through?
Yes, sir.
Anything you want to say to your congregation?
No, sir.
Creflo Augustus Dollar Jr. is a popular preacher of the prosperity gospel. The 1962-born American pastor and televangelist founded Christian World Changers Church International, a non-denominational church in College Park in Atlanta, Georgia. He also heads ministries like the Creflo Dollar Ministerial Association and Creflo Dollar Ministries. Dollar has often been criticized for his prosperity preaching and has been at the center of controversies over the years. He lives a lavish lifestyle and rides around in Rolls-Royces and private jets. Dollar also owns multiple mansions, including a $2.5 million home in New Jersey and another in Atlanta.
Full of the bling bling, in which the preachers and the rappers are saying virtually the same thing. Get rich.
Prosperity gospel is a biblical heresy.
He came under intense scrutiny in 2015 when he asked his congregation to fund the purchase of a $65 million jet.
To try and distort Jesus, to try and justify your new jet plane or your new Rolls Royce, is to me an abomination.
The Gulfstream G650 is one of the top jets in its class. In his defense, he claims he needed the jet to do his ministerial work since the schedule of plane companies does not allow him to fly whenever he wants to. He also mentioned in his sermons that he's free to ask for anything he wants. If I want to believe God for a $65 million plane, you cannot stop me. You can't stop me from dreaming. I'm going to dream until Jesus comes, he said.
Which way is this jet important for your ministry?
Well, in order for me to do what I've been called to do, the airlines, they don't fly my schedule.
In June 2012, Dollar was arrested by the Fayette County Sheriff's Office in Georgia after he was accused of abusing his 15-year-old daughter. He allegedly punched and choked the girl and was required to attend anger management classes before the charges were dropped. Despite corroboration from multiple individuals, including his older daughter, he denied all the allegations.
Is that a family conversation with our youngest daughter got emotional. She was not choked. She was not punched.
Number 10, Reverend Jermaine Simmons. Reverend Jermaine Simmons Sr. was exposed rather disgracefully when he was caught with a married female member of his church in the member's home. On the 17th of January 2017, the woman's husband, Benjamin Stevens III, caught their 37-year-old pastor in bed with his 34-year-old wife, Claynisha Stevens. The couple, who have been married for 7 years, were both members of Simmons's church. According to Claynisha, the affair between the pastor and her began in October 2016. She said the pastor came over to their house to discuss business and philanthropic activities. During the meeting, the pair got carried away and started having sex. Meanwhile, it was time for Claynisha's son to get picked up from school, but she was nowhere to be found. Her son's school called the husband when they couldn't reach Claynisha. Benjamin went to pick up their son, only to find his wife and the minister engaged in the shameful act in one of their daughter's bedrooms. The pastor had to run away naked without his car keys and clothes, but he got help from the police to retrieve his belongings. Benjamin was charged with aggravated assault because he threatened the pastor with his handgun. Despite the incident, Simmons refused to resign, stating God had already forgiven him. His wife and congregation stood by him. Number 9, Pastor Chris Hill. Pastor Chris Hill is a mentee and spiritual son of world-famous minister Bishop T.D. Jakes. He is also the senior pastor of the Potter's House Church of Denver. One of his employees at the church is Shernay, who married her husband, Arthur McFarland III, on the 26th of September 2014 in the presence of Pastor Hill and his wife. 3 years after the event, Pastor Hill's wife, Joy Hill, sent text messages to members of the church with allegations of an affair between her husband, the pastor, and Shernay, their goddaughter. Joy Hill stated that she hired a private investigator to help her look into the situation after she started suspecting foul play. Her private investigators followed the pastor and Shernay, confirming that the two were having an affair. She said, "My grace for this is over. I want a husband that won't cheat on me or verbally and emotionally abuse me. Shernay is your new first lady now. I won't be coming round TPHD again." Chris Hill resigned from his position at the Potter's House, and both marriages crashed after Joy Hill's outburst. However, Pastor Hill returned to ministry with blessings from his mentor, Bishop T.D. Jakes, after 3 months of stepping aside. Number 8, Dietrich Haddon.
Because in my past relationship, but there were some good moments and we had some good times, you know? Unfortunately, the bad times outweighed the good.
Dietrich Haddon is a pastor and gospel singer who came under fire after photos of him being intimate with an ex-girlfriend were leaked. But that was not the only scandal the pastor would be involved in. He married his first wife, Demita Chandler, in 1996, and the couple stayed together for 15 years before their divorce in 2015. However, it was later revealed that while their marriage was still in place, he had an affair and impregnated another woman, Dominique Haddon, to whom he is currently married. Months after parting ways with his first wife, he married Dominique. He's since come out to embrace his mistakes, stating that being a pastor doesn't mean he ceased being a man. Nobody is perfect out there. Everybody makes mistakes. I've made mistakes in my life. I don't think there's anybody on the other side of this camera that has not made a mistake. The only difference is us being in the spotlight, and we're preachers and held to a different standard, and sometimes we fall short. Just being winners, we call short, he said. Number 7. Bishop Lamore Whitehead. 46-year-old Lamore Miller Whitehead is an American pastor and convicted felon who earned himself the nickname Pastor Bling Bling after publicly displaying wealth. His long years of controversy became public knowledge in 2004. New York police pursued Whitehead after some residents complained about identity theft. He was finally arrested in 2005. It was discovered that he defrauded more than 50 individuals in a fraud and identity theft case. The pastor was convicted in 2005 and served 5 years at the Sing Sing Correctional Facility. He founded his Leaders of Tomorrow International Church a year after his release. In 2022, Whitehead was robbed at gunpoint, and the thieves carted away with expensive jewelry, including a $400,000 Cuban link chain and a $75,000 Rolex. 2 men were arrested in connection to the robbery, but Whitehead would share the same fate with them in 2024 when he was convicted of fraud. It started in 2021 when a former member of his church accused him of fraud amounting to $90,000. He was sentenced to 9 years in jail on June 17, 2024. Number 6. Pastor John Gray. Pastor John W. Gray is the senior pastor of Relentless Church in Greenville, South Carolina. Born in Cincinnati, Ohio, he is also an associate pastor of America's largest single-venue church, Lakewood Church in Houston, Texas. In late 2018 and early 2019, allegations spread that the clergyman was cheating on his wife, Aventer Gray. After the wife found out, they were going to have a divorce but changed their mind before going through with it. We had to keep smiling because even though we were struggling, even though I was failing as a husband, I was already in front of the people, and the people can't really receive my brokenness, he said as he confessed to the congregation. Aventer, in her reaction, said she changed her mind after praying. She added, "The devil is a lie. I'm standing with my husband, and you can go on back to the pits of hell where you came from. Was I upset? Yes. Was I heartbroken? Yes. But you better learn how to get in there for the better and worse so when the worst shows up, you don't run away." Months after the confession, John bought her wife a Lamborghini truck, and many suggest it's to say sorry for the unfaithfulness. However, the family came under fire again less than 3 years after the first case when allegations started flying again that the pastor was having another affair. This time, the affair partner was revealed to be a masseuse. YouTube personality Tasha K, who revealed the news, said she spoke with the mistress, who claimed not to know it was the pastor until after a while. Number 5. Dr. Juanita Bynum. Born January 16, 1959, Juanita Bynum is an American gospel singer and pastor who has made headlines for various reasons. In late 2024, the songwriter and pastor was investigated for possible embezzlement after they couldn't account for $1.7 million. According to the Trinity Foundation, whether the money was embezzled or just lousy accounting was unclear, but they're not ruling anything out. Before that, Bynum was criticized for demanding extreme sums from her followers. She asks her church members and others to sow seeds through large donations, reassuring them that they will be rewarded by God. One thing you can't deny is Bynum is good at convincing people as she continues to receive donations and book sales. She was also able to fund her lavish wedding. At another time, Bynum came under fire when she condemned listening to secular music. Some of her videos were making the rounds where she insisted that someone who listens to secular music cannot be saved. "I want to know what bishop told you that you can still be saved and listen to secular music. Who told you that?" she said. However, it didn't take long for her to be labeled a hypocrite after videos of her dancing to Mary J. Blige's "Just Fine" appeared online. Number 4. Pastor David E. Wilson. Pastor David E. Wilson is a well-known name on the internet because of some of his escapades from when he found himself in a viral scandal. The pastor has been preaching for over 30 years in the Texarkana area of Texas. His online profile says he is the senior pastor of Bible Way Ministries and World Outreach Incorporated. He has also been described as a motivational speaker and someone who loves to see lives transformed to the glory of God. He also attended Southwest Bible College and Seminary. However, Pastor David Wilson became an internet sensation in 2019 when a viral video of him made the rounds on social media platforms. The video depicts a man performing acts on a woman. The video quickly became a meme, with some taking it as far as the Sun's page on Facebook. However, some have claimed the man in the video is not the pastor, but someone with a striking resemblance. There is no official confirmation or denial from the pastor. Still, online sources claim that he responded by saying, "God made women for men, and anyone criticizing him was a hypocrite."
I see that on this morning I have messed up the mindset of some of you phony, fake ass, not doing a damn thing in the community, holier than thou as church folk.
Number 3. Bishop T.D. Jakes. Bishop T.D. Jakes is a renowned non-denominational pastor and motivational speaker who founded the Potter's House Church. He grew the church from a few hundred to thousands, which is currently one of the biggest megachurches in the United States. The bishop has also been involved in multiple controversies. He has been accused by other pastors of watering down the gospel, and his views on homosexuality have been criticized. In 2024, his name popped up many times when the embattled Sean Diddy Combs was arrested. In December of the same year, he fought back through his lawyers, demanding the identities of some content creators who shared some videos regarding Diddy and T.D. Jakes. As this was ongoing, 2 fellow pastors have come out to accuse Jakes of sexual misconduct. Dwayne Youngblood, a Pennsylvania man, alleged in 2 Larry Reed Live YouTube talk show episodes that Jakes attempted to groom and sexually abuse him. Dwayne's brother, Reverend Richard Youngblood, was one of those who swore an affidavit that they heard Dwayne talk about the incidents. That was before he filed his own lawsuit accusing the minister of climbing the bed with him on one of their church trips. Jakes filed his own lawsuit against the individuals, but Dwayne filed for its dismissal, citing it as a textbook example of a powerful entity attempting to silence a survivor of alleged clergy abuse. Number 2. Pastor Mark Burns.
Because I think this is not fair that this is not fair at all. This is not what I agreed to. I thought we were doing a profile, and all of a sudden you're here to try to destroy my character.
I'm not coming here to do. Pastor Mark Burns, a minister, televangelist, and senior pastor of the Harvest Praise and Worship Center in South Carolina, has always loved dipping his foot into politics. He was one of the early supporters of Donald Trump during the elections in 2016 and was part of a board of pastors for Trump. The 1979-born Burns worked at McDonald's before founding a church and moving to televangelism. In 2018, Burns ran for the office of South Carolina's 4th Congressional District, but lost in the first round with only 2.48% votes. He contested for the same post in 2022 and 2024, losing on both occasions, but by only 2% in the last one. The minister was criticized in 2016 after he retweeted an image of Hillary Clinton, which had been digitally manipulated to give the senator a blackface.
Again, the bio that's on your website claims that you earned a Bachelor of Science degree.
Burns had always claimed to have a Bachelor of Science degree from North Greenville University and to have served in the United States Army Reserve for 6 years. But both claims have been proven wrong after a CNN program exposed the lies. When pressed about the details in his bio, Burns revealed he attended but did not graduate. The university confirmed to CNN that Burns attended the institution for only 1 semester. During the interview, it was also revealed that Burns was only in the South Carolina National Guard and not the U.S. Army Reserves, as claimed. He apologized for lying stating, "As a young man starting my church in Greenville, South Carolina, I overstated several details of my biography because I was worried I wouldn't be taken seriously as a new pastor." Number 1. Pastor E. Dewey Smith. Pastor E. Dewey Smith is the senior pastor at the House of Hope Ministry, a megachurch with branches in Atlanta, Mason, and West Point. The pastor started preaching and has done so for over 30 years. He started the House of Hope Ministry when he was only 19 and has grown the church to more than 15,000 members. However, the pastor and his church have come under scrutiny in recent times after one individual assisted by the ministry granted an interview where she said she was assaulted. Revealing what happened to Christian journalist Larry Reed, a woman identified as Octavia said a rape occurred and the church has moved to cover it up. According to Reed, who claimed knowledge of how the church operates, they tricked him into signing an agreement that prevented him from reporting the senior pastor's infidelity and the child he had with another woman he wasn't married to. While another source has confessed to a media house that the story is true, the church tried to cover the information and appears to be doing the same regarding the case of Octavia. After complaining about the incident, Octavia claimed she was ambushed and intimidated to sign confidentiality documents. Reed also said he had been subpoenaed to release all information he has on the case. There you have it. 15 times, spiritual leaders who are supposed to be the perfect examples for their followers have been exposed for their greed and lust. Like the video and drop your thoughts in the comments below. We have many more enjoyable videos for you on our channel, so feel free to check, subscribe, and turn on notifications. See you soon.